What's going on, everybody? Dogman Dan here. We're going to talk about not the Galantine, but war today, okay? And I've got the Galantine out because I want to compare it right away, quickly up front here. Let me find the war. I do like this new melee, this new one that comes as a result of the quest and the whole new thing with the Stalker. Okay, this is the Stalker's big great sword, and as you can see over here, we're looking at the stats for the Galantine versus the War. The Galantine is slash heavy, War is impact heavy. In terms of how that works, Galantine's still got a higher slash than War does, but War has a little bit of slash, not much more puncture, but it is an impact heavy weapon. Slightly higher wall attack on the base, leap, and spin, but it does have this nice 20% critical chance versus the 10%. Though the attack speed is slightly slower. When I mean slightly, I really mean pretty much slightly slower than the Galantine. So it's still a nice weapon to have. So let's take a look at it now. The downside of the War is that it requires Broken War to craft if you are a free player and do not use Platinum. It requires Broken War, which again, in the last video that I did in the last setup on the Broken War, I reminded everybody that Broken War is required to craft War, and you are arguably giving up the best sword melee in game by crafting Broken War into War. But if you enjoy the Great Sword over a regular sword, you can't go wrong. You just can't go wrong. If you want to buy this outright, you buy the Hun Hao pack in the marketplace. So let's take a quick look here. I'm going to do things a little bit different than most people, I think. It's a work in progress. So far, I'm very happy with it, the way I have it set up. We've got Tempo Royale on here, my favorite stance. This is like something you've got to have, and this has actually been available once or twice. You can use the Cleaving Whirlwind on here as well, but Tempo Royale with its combos, it's just, yeah, you can't go wrong. We got some really heavy damage numbers in here. Does not compare damage number wise to the Galantine when we get all the way up, but we can do some nice things with it. Okay, and this is just the way I'm playing it. Again, you can put critical chance in there, but I went with Spoiled Strike in the end for more raw damage. Spoiled Strike, Pressure Point. Okay, I'm going to use Fury with Life Strike. Of course, Life Strike's going to, take away some of your attack speed by 20%, but the Fury covers that. So you're still going to be up just a little bit higher than the base Galantine, and you're going to get a nice set out of it. I am using Primed Heavy Trauma here, okay, for the extra impact damage. If, let's say, you didn't have Primed Heavy Trauma, Collision Force, 120% impact damage could go in there. You could use just regular heavy trauma as well if you wanted to. If you really needed to get that impact damage much higher than this, you don't. Honestly, you don't. You've got more than enough core impact damage. I'm going with Viral again here. 806 Viral, just my choice. You could change this out depending upon what you're going against. Of course, you can swap that around. And in this case, I'm going to use the Shattering Impact mod. The damage reduction, the melee, the attack, which is basically going to reduce armor by +6. It scales. I'm not going to get through the whole thing. This scales better with high level enemies than it does with lower level enemies, honestly. Corrosive would work better with the lower level enemies. And let's say if you really wanted to do something crazy, and you want to just knock down enemies left and right, you could go ahead and change your element to a corrosive element easily by finding the right one over here, dropping it in, and now we've got corrosion. Okay, we've got our heavy impact, and we've even got more armor reduction here, so you've got some nice things going on. You can, of course, go with a beautiful status chance you can get out of this. If you put stat mods on, you can go beautiful critical chance. I think 32% is max critical chance on here with a straight up True Steel as well. So if you just put in a True Steel here, let's do that. You can get a 32% critical chance with the True Steel. Okay, just as FYI, but I'm going to use Life Strike. I'm not a heavy critical chance guy when I've got enough going on here for me in terms of everything else. So I'm going to go back over to my Viral. just because of the combo that I like here. Viral taking out the health, shattering impact, damaging the enemy shields, of course, taking off the armor, I should say. So I have no problem with that armor. Scaling is pretty good with the shattering impact for me, and it may not fit you. Again, you don't have to do this type of build, but I've got a heavy damage setup. This is the best numbers I can get, 3476 in terms of straight up raw damage. I could change some things around if I wanted to. Obviously, I've got 2 points left if I ever want to max my prime heavy trauma. I can max that out all the way. If you wanted to just get crazy, of course, with your damage, say you didn't want to use shattering impact, take it off. Who cares? Go ahead. There we go. Boom. Look at that. Now we got some crazy ass numbers. Now you think that's even better? We just come back here. If I'm going to do that, I'm going to take shattering impact off. Then I am inevitably going to just definitely swap over to corrosive on here, and I'm going to get some really beautiful numbers with just straight up corrosive. So as you can see, a couple different ways you could do it. And we're bringing up our impact damage unbelievably, but I don't need to go up that high. I think the 842 straight up with the shattering impact for me, just how I play. Comments, questions, I hope you enjoyed. I'll catch you guys next episode. Thanks for watching.